Okay, and I'm going to try and help you out here. I really don't have the time to go through and finish it all out, but at least I can give you something I think that you can really finish it out yourself. And if not, I'll try to put up a full video on the YouTube channel. Sorry, I something's wrong with my throat today. Hope I'm not getting sick. But let's go ahead and get going on this for you. I apologize. So let's go in here and grab a ring rail. I don't know the size of your ring. It looks pretty small. It looks like around a size 4 if that pearl's not huge. So I'm just going to use a size 7. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab me a ball. I'm going to make my ball pretty big because I think that that pearl is a pretty large size compared to the size of the ring. So I'm going to use a 10 millimeter. So I'm going to type in 5. Well, first I'll hit F4, then I'll type in 5, and then hit enter. So it'll give me a 5 millimeter or 10 millimeter pearl out there. And the only reason why I'm using a 10 is because it looks maybe comparable to the size of your ring there. Maybe. But your ring looks like it's pretty small. So let's go ahead. And of course, we don't want to set it right on the edge. We want it above the ring rail, right? We're going to go to an outside ring rail. So we'll go to tools and grab an outside ring rail. Now, this outside ring rail is only going to be useful for a few seconds, but it'll help us a little bit. And we'll change that because it looks like the profiles go up pretty steep. So we're going to grab something like this. It has the Euro shank on the bottom, but like I said, this outside shank's not going to do as much good here in a little bit. So we'll just drag that up because that kind of gives us that angle, I think, that it looks like it's in the ring. But I am going to take this out to 2 to 2.5, and I'm going to take this one down to 2.5 as well. But it looks like that angle's probably pretty close to what you've got there. But again, this ring rail is not going to do as much good for very long, the outside one. So now we'll go and we'll just grab a profile on here. And we'll change that profile, of course. And again, it's hard to tell from your item. Let's see here, right here. It looks like it comes to a point here, but it looks like it's pretty flat through here, and definitely flat through here, normal shank here. So we're going to manipulate that a little bit. I think I'll just go with this one here, and we'll snap it up to our outside ring rail for right now, and then I'll place another profile down here, and I will change that one to just a normal shank profile, this one here. And we'll just kind of keep, because it looks like it's pretty close to the same size. It just looks like that the profile at the top has a little bit but it looks like it's pretty close to the same size, right? So we'll kind of keep it like this for right now, and we'll hit enter and accept that. So we have something like this, and of course this has the shank on it, right? Let's take this and change it to this, and we'll just go ahead and hide that for right now. Now, we want total manipulation over this curve, because this curve, if we tried to put or diamonds with it coming around, that's going to be pretty tight right there, and they're going to be angled out at 45 degrees or worse, 60 or something. So we want total control on this curve to get our shape a little bit easier and better, right? So we're going to select that. We're going to go ahead and turn on points, and it has a boatload of points out there. So we're going to select that. Okay, turn off those points, grab that curve, and we'll hit rebuild. And we'll turn it to a size 7. It's going to change our shank and everything, but that's okay. We're going to have manipulation on it. So turn back on points, and now we have this, right? First thing we want to do is probably keep it in most of our perspectives so we can kind of see what's going on with it, right? And the first thing I'm going to do is grab these two here and then just drag them down so that it kind of goes out straight right here. But I still have that little U there, which is fine. And then I can grab these two and drag them out, something like this. And then it dropped it down quite a bit, so we'll just go ahead and bring it up a little bit. something like that, right? And we'll bring back our pearl for right now, and we'll do a 2-rail sweep so we can kind of see what's going on. Now, the reason why I didn't do the sweep first is because now when I do the sweep, I'll have total control over these points to be able to manipulate the surface here, right? And it'll update. So I don't have to go back and keep on re-sweeping, right? So let's do a sweep 2. This rail, this profile, hit enter, and let's give it some shading. I'm going to turn to like a ghosted mode so I can still see my points in there. And I get something like this, which is pretty close. But now, like I said, we have total control out here, right? Let's go ahead and hit enter. So we can go back in here and we can manipulate this surface however we want. We can go in here and we can we should probably go back to our perspective. See, what reason why we want to stay in our perspective is because we have these way down here and we want them up around our ring rail. I think that is these are the 2, so we'll drag those up to this one and we'll drag all of them back to our ring rail. There we go. Pretty close. Okay. But you want to probably keep it, but that's good to go now. So all we have to do is manipulate these here. Now that outside ring rail is probably not going to do us any good, but we can continue to add more points. We can drag these out. Excuse me. You can manipulate this however you want. Like I said, it looks like it's pretty straight at the top, right? And these points probably aren't going to give us that nice, that's pretty close. Let's give it some shading here. Yeah, that's pretty close. But you can manipulate this however you see fit. By just doing this. I do want to show you one more thing just in case you get to a point where you're just not having good enough control. We'll go ahead and hide that and hide this, right? And we still have our curve out here, right? You can actually, instead of trying to rebuild, you can go ahead and type in insert control point, and then now you can select your curve and you can add an extra control point to give you a little bit more control over it, and it will update. So I can still change my area around, right? So if you need be, if you feel like you just don't have enough control, you want more control, you can go in there and add a couple extra control points to give you a little bit more surface or ability to manipulate your surface there, right? So let's go ahead and add our pearl back on here. And that looks pretty close. Again, if you have those stones, so let's just check real quick. So let's grab a stone. We'll just put one on surface just to kind of get a look. We'll pick this surface here, kind of get it up to where we want it. Kind of, I don't know what size they are. And then you can kind of lay a few out just to kind of see if it's going to be close enough for you. And that looks pretty good, actually. So those will probably, that surface will probably work for us where we can lay it out there, right? I wish I had a top view. Do I have a top view? No top view. Okay, so it's hard to tell how much of a point that goes in, but that's pretty close, I think. So we'll get rid of those points at this point, and we'll take that. Sorry, looking at my other screen here. All right, so we have this out there, right? And now we need to get those other areas. So the first thing we're going to do is grab this curve here, our ring rail, and we're going to go ahead and we are going to change that to red, and we are going to offset it. We'll offset it by 1.25, so it'll go up something like that. And this curve here is no longer, really a good determiner. So we're just going to go ahead and delete it. All right, and now what we'll do is we'll go and do an extract ISO curve from our surface here, and we'll try and get it right there in the middle at 5.0, and then hit enter. And we're just going to go ahead, and that you can also use to lay out your stones too, at least the first row. And then if you did the manipulation, you know, you put another ISO curve, you can move those stones around to once you get them where you want them. So that's something to think about. So we have this curve here. We'll do another offset real quick. Offset curve. And we'll drop this one down to 1.25 as well, right? And then we will go ahead and hide. Well, before we do that, we want to grab a circle. Circle. Just a circle is probably fine. And we'll kind of pick our center there and kind of turn off our snaps. And go out however far you want. Something like that perhaps. And is that our curve way out here? Okay, so we'll take that curve. We'll make sure we're in front viewport. We'll go to transform and we'll project to C-plane, delete input objects. Yes, so it'll just snap it right there to our C-plane. We'll take that, and hide it, make sure everything's on our C-plane. We'll take, turn off that, and we'll turn off our yellow. She was all yellow. Okay, so we have this. That's our offset curve. That's our offset curve, and this is what we did around the pearl, right? Okay, so we'll just take this. Okay, so we'll have to add one more line right in there. So we'll just grab a line curve, and we will. I hate when. Since I updated 3.5 when I picked my line, right? Now if I go to snaps, boom, it disappears. Kind of disappointing. And we'll select that. Okay, so now we will take all this and we will do some trim action. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of all this here, and come down here and play around with this a little bit. Get rid of that. And that looks good. And then we'll take that and we will join it together. 4 curves join the one closed curve. So now we'll go to our right side. We'll drag it out. We'll alt click off of it, click back on it, drag it in, and click it. CAP, enter, bring back our item here. Yeah. And bring back this, and we will take this and we will split it, or Boolean difference, with this. Enter, get rid of that, and we have that. Yeah. Okay, next thing probably want to do is go ahead, hold down Shift Control, select that surface, just go ahead and delete it. We don't need it. Grab this, transform, mirror it over to our other side, hit enter, select all that, and join it together, and we have a closed poly surface, right? And that looks pretty close. I think what it is on your ring here. This kind of comes up really more at an angle because I think your pearl's bigger. And if that's the case, if your ring size is smaller and your pearl's bigger, then this edge is going to go up straighter, right? So but I think that'll give you the shape and cutout and everything that you're looking for. Yeah. I would probably cut that off around here. Not take it all the way down that small point, because that's probably not going to print up very good anyway. So, and it looks like it's more open right there anyway. So just cut it off right in here or something. But I think that, I think if the pearl was bigger, this edge would be more at a straighter angle, right? But then the only thing you have to do here is do these cutouts here, which I think you can probably do no problem, and then add your stones on. You know, like I said, you can do that. Let's see, let's turn back these on. You can use this as your first row for your stones. gems on curve, and then get them to where you want them. I think there are 6 of them. Yep. So take it up to say a 6, and maybe that's probably okay. And then just go ahead and do a another offset or extract curve. You know, and this curve you can manipulate like crazy. So depending on what size your gems are, I don't think I changed those at all. Let's go ahead, edit, select our surface. Let's pick this surface, and let's 1.3. Maybe they're around 0.8. They're probably pretty small. Hit enter. Now we can go ahead and select this curve. Go to gems on curve. Select our curve. This one, enter. Drag these up. I think I had it at 0.8. I think there were 5 here. Select our target surface here. Go ahead and take those down to 0.8, around the same size, 0.8. There's 8 of them. We don't need 8. We need 5, I think. And drag them. Get our spacing. Seven. I don't want that roll. 0. I want spacing. There's 6. 1. Oh, I have way too many here. Okay. So let's see. Let's take that as stones. I think there were 6 in this one. Size. Six. Take these stones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's only supposed to be 5, so I'll edit them. We'll make them a little bit bigger. I forgot what those other ones were. My bad, but there's 5 here, so we can kind of manipulate that to where we want it. Move this one to where we want. Still make sure we have 5 there. Hit enter. You can take your curve and go back and edit it, which is awesome. Drag them a little bit in, maybe. Right? And then just keep manipulating it until you get your stones exactly where you want them. Right, and then just kind of transform over to the other side. I can't really do that tonight for you, but I'll try to get a video up where it shows everything. But hopefully you'll be able to get that taken care of, and then do your cutout. And really putting the shank on's no big deal either. So, I guess maybe I should show that real quick. But I don't think I think you probably do that one no problem. So we'll take all this here. We'll delete it. Hold down shift control, select all that, delete it. Yeah, okay, that's because it's up in there. I would probably go ahead when I did that cutout, make that shorter, but personal preference. From object, duplicate edge, and I will select all these edges here, and then I will hold down control and get rid of these pieces that I don't want. Yeah, and then I will go ahead and select these, and again hold down control, get rid of those pieces I don't want, and then hit enter and join. Oh my gosh, I got it. And then hit enter. So we have the 2 curves out there, and hopefully they're closed, which they are. So here, what I would do, I wouldn't do the surface one because you'd have to go back and redo everything. It's better probably just to do the surface one, the old one, and then select this curve here, this curve over, not that. Hold down control. This one here, and because it will give you, see, those seams aren't going to line up, but so this way it's much easier just to do the seams, and then hit enter, and then enter. Take that, take this, join it together, and we have a closed poly surface. But that's, doing it this way where you have control points on there and you can manipulate that however you want, is probably the best way to do it. And all you do is do your cutouts there, and lay out your stones, and you should be good to go. This is probably much heavier than what your item is there, so keep that in mind. But yeah, hopefully that helps. You can go back in here and do a fillet on those edges if you'd like, before you do those cutouts or after, either or. And yeah, so hopefully that'll help you at least get going. And like I said, I'll try to get a video up where we put the whole thing together in the future. So let me know if this helps out any. All right, thank you very much, and good night. I'm going to bed. Talk to you later.